How's it going? I'm Matt Smith. Thanks for having me on the Next Level call on the advanced market portion. I'm going to try to keep things very simple for all of you today. I think it's important when we're talking to people about their retirement to keep it simple for them as well. The first thing that you need to understand when you're talking to your clients about some sort of potential savings or retirement investment type vehicle is, what are they using the money for? There's different reasons that people have money and different reasons people need money. So that's the first question that you always need to ask someone when you sit down with them in regards to their retirement. The other thing that you need to understand is the fear of loss is 2.5 times greater than the fear of gain. And you need to understand what people's motives are for money, especially when they've gone from maybe the accumulation phase of their life to more of a distribution phase of their life. Because for most of our clients that we meet, we're meeting clients that are either getting ready to retire or they are retired, and they need to start looking at their money a little bit differently than when they were working and still contributing and doing that dollar cost per averaging, staying in the market, maybe can take a few more lumps and bruises along the way, where now this is all the money that they have, and they need to make sure that money lasts for the rest of their lives. They need to make sure they have enough of it. They need to have a strategy behind that distribution channel. And that's where, as an agent, you can hang your hat and you can really have a lot of resolve and a lot of confidence in what we do, because we do it better than anyone else. So the first area that I would spend time on is you need to know the 5 retirement fears. If you've heard me train previously, we talk about this quite a bit, but I think it's important because people have different reasons for their money. So number 5 on the scale is really not leaving a legacy to their family. So you're going to meet clients that maybe they don't need the money for income, but they want to leave a legacy to their clients. Now, we can also sell those individuals life insurance with that money. By the way, we could do like a single premium. I'm giving you ideas as well. Or there's plenty of legacy products out there that we can do with Family First Life that can help them make sure they leave a legacy to their loved ones when they're no longer here. The fourth scenario that is a big fee is negative returns. You see this all the time, where even this year the returns have been wiped out, where we've seen like a 10% drop just over the last month or so in the S&P 500. Well, it's kind of wiped out all the positive returns throughout 2018. Now, they're not real negative returns until someone sells, to be clear, but however, the market is down 10%. So you're going to see and meet a lot of clients that have a lot of fear, because they're going to start opening up their statements, and all of a sudden, we've been in this biggest, longest bull run in history, where we've been about 10 years where things have gone really, really well for clients, and they've forgotten how it was to open up their envelope in 2008 or 2001, where we saw 40% cliffs. So it's important to understand that people are scared to lose money, and we can put them in vehicles not to do so. And we'll talk about strategies here towards the end on how to approach these different accounts. Outpacing inflation. You're going to meet a lot of clients that are concerned about the rise of cost of whether it's just simple food, transportation, housing, healthcare, etc. People are concerned about that inflation down the road and how it will affect their income in years to come. You've got healthcare and long-term care costs going up. If you've noticed, just over the last probably, 6 years, how much has it gone up on your individual plans, right? Well, imagine when you're retired and you only have this much money, how that affects your clients. So that's why it's number 2. And then the biggest fear for all people's retirements is outliving their money. So, that happens a lot of times, and where that happens is where negative returns come into play. And we'll talk about sequence returns towards the end of this portion of the call, and then we'll wrap it up. So approaching it, retirement accounts. You're going to meet people with 401ks, traditional IRAs from previous jobs, federal or state employees that have thrift savings plans or federal employee plans, and people just with savings accounts. And you need to know how to approach each of those clients on different accounts. And the biggest thing I could tell you, if you're dealing with clients that have money, whether it's qualified funds, even non-qualified funds, if their money is in the market, it's important to start to talk about those bear markets that last a year and a half. The last two have been 40% gains. On average, they're at least 20% drop. So you need to future pace. You need to paint a picture world, just like for insurance that we do in the house. You need to do the same for retirement, because if they don't, if it doesn't make sense, like we talked about a week before, if it doesn't make sense logically and it doesn't make sense then emotionally, they can't back it with logic, they're not going to do anything. So it's important, like I say, where you say, okay, here's my concern. You're 71 years old right now, John, and you're finally retired over the last couple of years, and if we see this drop down, because it always happens, bear market usually lasts about 7 years, we're well past that. If we see the market drop like it always does, and here we are taking out 5-6% of your account value every single year, if we see your market drop 20-30% and you're taking out 5 or 6%, and that maybe happens 2 years in a row, what I'm concerned about is all of a sudden either your income changes dramatically because you're going to run out of money so much quicker, or you just flat run out of money at age 82 simply because early on when you retire, the market has dropped. So that is a real thing for most clients, and you need to make sure to paint that picture, because it's a real picture, it's a real fear, it's a real concern for them, and you need to show them how we can create either a lifetime income or eliminate the negative returns with indexing strategies, where every year when the market goes up, you lock in gains and then you start over. 2018 to 2019, 2019 to 2020, 2020 to 2021, now the market tanks. You have a 0% floor, so you kept all your gains plus the principal account value, and you didn't have to worry about any losses. So zero is your new hero. Like Warren Buffett talks about, number one rule of money is don't lose any, and the number two rule is remember the number one rule, right? So having those built-in automatic automation type products are very effective, because a lot of times people go to have other individuals manage their retirement, but there's never a proactive approach. And with these smaller accounts, $500,000 less, etc., I would tell you that most advisors don't care enough. Now, there are good advisors out there, so I'm not attacking all advisors, but they're not paying attention enough to make sure that their money is protected on the downside risk. So the things that we can put them in as far as an indexing product or as far as a lifetime income product, we don't have to worry about when the downturn comes what their money is going to look like, and we can eliminate fees. So the two things that erode retirement accounts are negative returns and fees. So once you combine not only a negative return, but then they're paying fees and they're taking withdrawals, that's really easy to outlive your money or to run out of your funds. So that's important to understand and explain to clients. Sequence return is probably the best way to get them to open their eyes in regards to distribution. Right now is probably a very good time to talk to some clients back, because we've got products with 8% bonuses. We've got products in some states with 10% bonuses where they can recoup all of the money that they've maybe lost this year and then start with a good, healthy spot where they can continue on and move on with their money. So that's extremely important too. You've got to realize when you're dealing with someone that's above 59.5, so if they're at their current job, and they've started their 401k there and they're not above 59.5, you probably can't move that money, okay? But if you can, if they're 59.5 and above and they can do a free service distribution, then you can move that money. But generally speaking, a lot of times newer agents get excited when you start a 401k at your current job. It's really difficult to move that money out. So they would have to, talk to their human resource department to figure out if they're even eligible to move their money out. With IRAs, you've got to think that there's 1 trillion orphan, or excuse me, I think there's 1 million, because trillions a lot, 1 million orphan 401ks on an annual basis in the United States. So when you think about people leaving their job, they've got these old 401ks at their previous job, and if you don't do a good job inside of the financial inventory, you're not going to find and locate those opportunities for you. So make sure when you're talking to people about, do you have anything that acts like life insurance, like a retirement account, it could be a 401k, IRA, etc., Make sure you understand, was that from a previous employer? Is that at their current job, etc. So that's extremely important as well, for sure. And then you're going to meet people with TSPs and FERS. And generally speaking, all they do with these federal or state accounts is they annuitize the money. So it's very simple. We're trying to give them an apples to apples comparison to what income would be with us that they can access and not have to worry about, we can give them survivorship options just like inside of their own TSP or FERS account, but we can annuitize the money just like that. So having control of your money and having lifetime income, a lot of people in these accounts like that. A lot of these accounts might not be huge dollar amounts because they might not work for the state or the Fed for that long. So it just depends on the client, but understand that we can do the exact same thing that will happen to their account. You have to be above 59.5 for that in order to move that. So that's important as well. And then you're going to meet a lot of people that have money in savings and literally have money in savings because they don't want any downside risk. They've been burned in the stock market. They do remember 2001 and 2008. They remember those bear markets that ripped down portfolios, and they'd rather get a 1% return at the bank than have something else. You can literally put them in some of our indexing of products with Athene, for example, where over the last 20 years, the worst 10, according to the illustration, can be right around 6%. They can get those 8%, 10% bonuses on their funds. So they can literally get 8 years of their returns on a savings account simply by moving that money. Now, bonuses vest over the surrender period. They vest over time. These are all questions that can be answered inside of your CRM. You can just go to Ask a Specialist, and you'll find some amazing help there where you can find illustrations, you can find information in regards to scenarios. So if you have a scenario like a 401k, IRA, you can put all that information into the CRM and say, what is the money for? Do they want income now? Do they want to defer the income? Are they looking to outpace inflation where maybe we're doing a fixed index annuity with a deferred income stream so their income grows at a substantial rate over time and then they can turn it on when they need it? There's great strategies and great scenarios, but you can really rely on the resources at Family First Life to help you answer some of the questions that you might be having. I just wanted to give you a quick overview on what to look for, what to talk about, and all you have to say is, hey, listen, let me come back this time next week, show you what your money will look like, show you a good illustration on what we can eliminate fees and negative returns, and make sure to give you income for the rest of your life. Does that sound fair, John and Mary? And they'll say, yeah, we'll take a look at it. Keep it simple, and it'll give you a lot of opportunity out there because there is plenty of opportunity here at Family First Life. Thank you for your time.